So guys, we had made a video a while back on how to pass USCMA Part 2, and that video did amazingly. I think it got a lot of views, and I think in general it helped a lot of folks with how to clear USCMA Part 2. And now I have gone on and written my Part 1 examination in the September-October exam window of the USCMA. And I'm here to share my experience with all of you once again and hopefully discuss some strategies that you can apply when preparing for USCMA Part 1 and how it can maybe help you pass the examination. Now, with that being said, I'll just quickly go over the subjects in Part 1 and then we will talk about what are the different strategies that you can use to ensure success in Part 1. Now, again, Part 1, just like Part 2, comprises of 6 subjects and it mainly focuses on accounting, financial accounting, and costing. There are various subsets of audit and technology that are also a part of the Part 1 curriculum. So, the very first subject is external financial reporting decisions, which deals with financial accounting, both from an IFRS and US GAAP perspective. Then you have planning, budgeting, and forecasting. You have performance management. You have cost management. You have internal controls, and you have technology and analytics. Now, how do you crack the Part 1 exam? Well, in my opinion, the order in which you study these subjects is extremely key for Part 1. Part 1 within itself has a lot of linkage that you can exploit and use when preparing for this exam. What do I mean by this? For example, if you're someone who's going to study performance management, before you study planning, budgeting, and forecasting, you're going to find it extremely difficult to understand performance management. Again, to give you an example, the planning, budgeting, and forecasting module will teach you flexible budgets, which you then need in order to do variance analysis in performance management. Now, keeping this in mind, I will now lay down the ideal order in which you need to study for these subjects, both from a weightage perspective, because you know that each subject has a weightage assigned to it. So, for example, planning, budgeting, and forecasting has a 20% weightage, which means out of 100 MCQs, you know that 20 MCQs are going to appear from this particular subject. So, it's both weightage-wise and logical sense-wise, or the flow of topics-wise. The very first subject that you should start with is planning, budgeting, and forecasting. Learn this subject end to end. Once you are done with this, you then move on to performance management as your second subject. Once you're done with performance management, get the two theory topics out of the way. So you get internal controls done and you get technology and analytics done. The minute you reach this point, you have 70% of your syllabus done and dusted. 20% through planning, budgeting, and forecasting, 20% through performance management, and 15% each through internal controls and technology and analytics. These 4 are relatively smaller in terms of volume compared to the final 2 subjects, and they have the same, if not more, weightage than the other 2 subjects. So just keep this order in mind. Planning, budgeting, and forecasting, performance management, internal controls, technology, and after you're done with these 4, then you take on cost management, which deals with various aspects of costing, which is a 15% weightage. Once you're done with this, you're done with 85% of the syllabus. For the last 15%, you take financial reporting. External financial reporting decisions should be your last subject. For the amount of volume, 15% weightage is relatively less in our opinion. So you take this last. Okay, so now you've understood the ideal order in which you should study these subjects. Great. But how do you tackle the overall Part 1 syllabus? Well, the approach does not change. You go through the lectures, you understand the logic, then you read the textbook, then you practice the questions, and then you read the textbook again. Do not forget this order. Watch the lectures, read the textbook, practice related questions to what you've just read, and after you finish practicing, you should go back and read the textbook again. And this whole process, right, the first time you do it will take maybe 10 days for one subject. Second time, try to do it in 7 days. And then final time, try to do it in 2 to 3 days, the whole subject. And that way you ensure mastery in terms of the subject. One more thing that you should keep in mind when you're practicing Part 1 specifically is it is very logic driven. And what I mean by this is when you're practicing MCQs, you should also pay attention to the wrong answers and why they are incorrect and not just the right answers. This will help you build very, very strong foundation because Part 1 will look at how you are able to apply your logic and your concepts. Now, how do you tackle some of the more difficult concepts? Well, there are 2 schools of thoughts here. One, you focus on what you're bad at, and two, you focus on what you're good at. And I am firmly of the opinion that you should focus on the latter. Focus on what you're good at. The part one textbook is 500 to 700 pages in volume, depending on which study material you use. If you go with Surgeon, that's at least 600 pages worth of text. Now, when you're studying 600 pages worth of text, it is not possible to be good at everything, in which case it is okay to be bad at a couple of topics. Try your best to learn and understand those, but because you are bad at two topics does not mean you will fail the exam. You should spend your time focusing on what you're good at as opposed to spending time on what you're bad at and then also neglecting what you're good at. So always focus on what you're good at, and then there are 3-4 concepts that you don't know. That's completely fine. That will not stop you from passing the exam. And guys, finally, the last bit in terms of the complexity of the part 1 exam. Well, in terms of complexity, it will be close to what you practice. However, there will be some questions that you will find challenging. Again, the split of questions that you will have, on average, 50 easy MCQs that you will be able to solve relatively quickly. You will have 30 questions that are medium difficulty, and what I mean by that is you will be able to arrive at the answer, but they will take some time. And then you will have 20 difficult questions, and these 20 questions will take the most time to solve. Now, the exam strategy here should be very straightforward. The first 1 hour of your MCQs goes towards the 50 easy questions. You want to knock these out of the park. These you cannot go wrong with. Your next 1 hour is dedicated towards your 30 questions, and the final 1 hour is dedicated towards the last 20 difficult questions. Remember, 80 questions on average, इसमें से you can आराम से get 60 correct, provided you are writing the exam with a lot of focus and concentration. Finally, with respect to essay questions, I am of the opinion, and Zell is of the opinion, that you do not touch essay questions until 14 days to go for your exam. Do not start practicing essay questions right off the bat. It's not the best idea. Wait until everything is done. You have read the textbook 3 times. You have finished practicing the questions, and then touch the essay-based questions. And this hopefully will help you prepare and ace the exam. It is okay to be bad at 2 or 3 concepts. Once again, I'm reiterating it. But your focus should be logic, and your focus should be clarity of concept. And with that, I hope you can ace your part 1 exam. Our contact details are on your screen. They are also in the description box below. Do not hesitate to give us a call. And thank you so much for watching.